All right, we've drained it down. We drained this whole radiator down because we wanted to change with fresh water and antifreeze for this car. So your next step now is you're not going to have water coming out is to take your hose off here before you undo these nuts. Sometimes there may be a bolt if a stud wasn't put in, but these have not been off a long time. We have already taken them off and back on for a purpose, but I want to show you what you do if it doesn't come off. We use this. That's silicone from Kano Labs. That's the best penetrating oil I think on the planet. We've been using it almost 20 years, and we just don't have any nuts or bolts that break off anymore. So we always soak them down just a little bit. You can buy this direct from them at Kano Labs in Nashville, and even at the clamp. That's a lot better than the PV Blaster. So when you first undo this and get it loose, it's going to stick to the hose, not all of it. So you may have to open it up and wiggle it like that so you can get it back. And then this hose hadn't been off in a long time, so it's not just going to pull off. So you want to take your screwdriver, work it around a little bit. Don't punch a hole through it. Just try to break the seal and then wiggle back and forth. And there it goes. Stick that out of the way. Now, next thing you're going to do, of course, is just take these off. As I said, this has already been off for video purposes, so we know what we're going to run into. Save those nuts and washers, especially if it has the right ones. That's very nice. All right, we use a magnetic tray so we don't find it on the floor and go, where did that nut go? And that can go over to the cart. Now, he runs fine. What he's got is one of the cheap thermostats in here. That's the $5 thermostat. And we're going to show you why that does not cool your engine good enough. So with that removed, there it is. There's your cheaper thermostat. Get the gasket off. See, everything's drained out. So you see, this is the one that doesn't have a bellows. Now, I'm going to explain that to you. We'll go over here to the workbench and I'll show the difference first, and then we'll come back and I'll show why. Now, to keep it running, let's just go over there. It ain't going to take that long. All right, what you're looking at, I probably ought to cut my thing off, is this is the thermostat you get for $5. These are the ones the way they used to be made. And it's a thermostat with a sleeve on it, okay? This sleeve is a blanking sleeve for a very important reason. I'll take this with me. We'll go back over here and I'm going to show you from the driver's side what Ben and I are talking about. You will see right here, there is an opening. That opening is always there. And what that does is it helps preheat the engine, because that means that this is never closed, so 30% of your water never gets to your radiators. Recirculating. These old iron blocks don't run worth a darn until they get heated up, and it takes a long time. So when you run the cheap thermostat that has no bellows, no matter what you're doing, you're only getting like 70% of your water through the radiator ever. This thermostat right here, when it's in, when the thermostat opens at 160 degrees, the sleeve also comes up and blanks that off. So now 100% of your water is running through the radiator. That increases your cooling by 30%. These are $100. These, the cheap ones, are like $5. But when you run at 220 degrees in traffic, you will wish you had one. This may not cure all your problems, but it's definitely somewhere you should start. All right, there's another thing you can do. Mall sells these and this. You can get a blanking sleeve. Now what this does, if you don't want to run a thermostat at all, you're still going to be running hot because you're actually still got that open. They sell just a blanking sleeve. Fits just in there like a thermostat. Got little holes in it here. So instead of 30%, you're getting about 5% recirculating. The problem with these is that it's going to take a long time to get your engine hot because there's no thermostat. It's instantly running. You've blocked off most all of the recirculation. So it may take you 15 minutes before this big old block gets hot enough to go. But you'll run the coolest you can possibly cool. If I was living in Miami, Tampa, I'd probably use one of these because it's always hot there. So you can do that. I've done it up here, and when it hit fall, and Harold there was BN7, the car would never get over about 140 degrees. And it's like, oops, I got to put one of these in. There was one other issue we found, is these will sit down in that groove, okay? It does now. The last batch I got was just a little too big here on the outside. So I had to take some sandpaper and sand it down so it would drop in. Ta-da! Now it fits in the groove. If not, and it sits off because it's too big, it'll sit proud. The actual housing will never go on. So you want to make sure it drops in there, even if you have to take some sandpaper and sand the edges down so you know it fits down level. So the gaskets will sit level and the housing will sit level. All right, let's stop there and then we'll go for housing.